Hi. Thank you. Hi.
It's so cold.
In here?
I mean, it's gonna get hot.
I know. I think it's a little toasty after the previous class. So I just like air it out and I'll turn it off.
What are you doing Friday? That's like the mid purple. It's a zombie pro weed. What'd you do? What'd you smoke? What is it? Gravity. And you just sat. What did you talk about? Just the three of you and the dogs. Melissa, Jane, cookies. I heard it was good. No, no napkins.
I feel like everyone's caught in the weird traffic that's out today. So who knows as people come up, but I have no idea. He was saying there was traffic on South Street from 30th until 9th.
Whoa.
Construction?
Or like,
On South Street. There's something going on in South
Yeah.
Street.
Huh.
Is it just that it's Cinco de Mayo?
oh,
Like,
I
I
for-
don't think anything's actually
sorry.
going on. Like,
people are just out.
I
I didn't even put that together. I was like, it's a Tuesday. What are we doing?
Did you celebrate this morning?
Okay, let's see. Well, in theory, we have lots of time before we start. We're waiting on a bunch of folks that may or may not arrive. But while you're getting comfortable, we'll use all the props this afternoon. There's blocks over here. We're going to do some stuff with the straps. So if you want to go grab a strap from the baskets, there's also some therapy balls. We'll get some time to roll. And we'll be doing a bunch of stuff with the knees down on the floor. So if you'd like to grab a blanket for any extra padding, you can grab that too. And I can also bring stuff over to you. But in theory, there's 30 people registered. And who knows? I might do something different today.
The tiny hairs. You're so.
Hi.
Hyper real texture. Yeah. I'm sure being
How are you? Good. It's nice to see you. Taking today? Getting to just take, turn the brain off. Yeah. Hello. How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, we walked.
Okay.
Yeah. Why?
People are just like full of traffic.
I walked by 3 of my buses. They were just stopped on 4th Street, so
Yeah, we made with so much time. Yes, of course. Good to see you.
Thanks for having us.
Of course.
I think South Street's closed, so it's kind of throwing.
Tetris. That makes sense. But right on time, you get to tune out for a little bit.
Is it better if it was or what?
Hi, good to see you.
I only asked if they're pretty similar in terms of like tone. That's good. Why? No, I don't. Support you. No. You
He
don't.
wa-
Don't get me started on that right now. You'll talk about it.
Okay. Okay. All right, y'all. Good to see you. I think a few more folks are signed up. They might trickle in as we start to get moving around. But while you're getting settled and grabbing things, I can also bring your props over to you, but we'll definitely use a strap to where we're going, some therapy balls that are here in these white baskets. You might use some blocks, and then we'll be doing some things with the knees down. So a blanket for some extra padding. It's the ginger snap juice. Downstairs. It's so good. It's ginger water. Oh, made it. Cinco de Mayo. Didn't realize that that was happening until literally a second ago. But thank you all for being here. There's a few new faces to me. Welcome. Take your time. You can get comfortable. But there's a few new faces to me. Hello. You snuck in. I love it. And in case I didn't officially get to say hi to you all, my name is Anisha. Thank you for coming. And I mentioned this yesterday, but every week the clipboard is updated with new events and workshops. So if you have time outside of the public class schedule, the spring workshop schedule is stacked. But for the first time in the 10 years that I've been teaching here, we're doing bingo. Has anyone done the bingo yet? It's very, very sweet. They have some downstairs. There's also some cards up here, but I don't know any details about it. Like, I don't know when it's due. I don't know what you get. I don't know any of the information, but a month of free yoga. Okay, this is why I ask you, because you guys very most likely know what's going on better than I do. But I mean, you have your bonus square, and then the one right next to it is Love's Three Queens. So not to project or put any words in your mouth, but I think you got 2 squares there for free. And you can enter up to 4 times. I don't know if I said that already, but a fun little treat. So if you're interested, these are here. You can leave them downstairs when you're done. I don't know what you use to stamp it, or maybe you just do it yourself, but honor system, yeah? We'll see how it goes. Okay, today we are more than halfway through. Hi, Natasha, good to see you. There's just one more week, and 6 weeks ago, which feels both like yesterday and a lifetime ago, I started an annual series that I teach each year of the Chakra series, where each week we focus on these different energetic centers and wheels of energy that we have in our body. For the sake of simplicity, you're thought to have an infinite amount of chakras. They're these energetic centers that exist all throughout your body itself. But for the sake of the series and the sake of learning them and understanding them, you're thought to have 7 chakras that run along the length of your spine. And now today, last week, if we were together, you might remember, or maybe you've already forgotten, we did the one in the throat, which meant that we did chin stand, and we worked our way towards balancing on the chin. So lucky you if you missed class, or the class is recorded online if you're curious about what it looks like. You can just zoom past to see what's happening in there. But today, we work our way up to number 6. So this is the chakra of the third eye in between the eyebrows. In Sanskrit, it's called Anya or Ajna chakra. And in English, the word Anya or Ajna translates to perceive or to command. The color of this chakra is indigo or violet. This is the closest that I could get to it. Still trying to color coordinate. Next week's colors are like gold or rainbow, so who knows what I'm going to come in wearing. But it's the whole spectrum of all the colors. So the color is that of indigo or violet, and the element is that of light. So we worked our way up through these more tangible elements. Long, long ago, the first chakra went from earth, then water in the hips, fire in the belly, air in the heart. Last week was sound in the throat, and now we come up to light. And now this is the chakra, if you've been practicing at the studio for a while, you might have heard us say the phrase, what cannot be seen but can be felt. A lot of us teachers here say that in repetition. That's the Cliff Notes version of what's going on with this chakra. It is the place where you access your imagination, your sense of intuition, your clairvoyance, your ability to dream and to imagine what's not necessarily seen on this earthly plane. And if you ever look at pictures or deities of images of any of the deities that are in the yogic tradition, you'll see that they have their 2 eyes that they see out of, but then almost all of them have a third eye that's depicted in between their eyebrows. And it's their ability to see not just what's on the earthly plane, but to see what's in the ether above and on the earth below, to see all dimensions of the world that we live in. This chakra is also associated with, it's thought to be associated with the nerves and muscles of your eyes and your inner ears. And it's the place in which you start to see and experience colors and shapes. And as it's associated with the muscles and nerves in the inner ears, it helps a lot with balance, of seeing what it feels like to balance on both and on one foot, and seeing where your body takes up in space. So we'll be playing with balance a lot this evening, but the question about this 6th chakra that I like to ask in class is, what is it that you can see through the dark? What does the light begin to reveal? So all throughout class, when you feel stable, when you feel supported, I'll give the invitation to let your eyes close, to notice what you feel under the surface of your skin, to see what's happening in this energetic plane. Bless you. And we'll see where it starts to take us. Hi, come on in. Can you actually start lying on your back? And for those sweet ones that are lying on your back already, you mind doing a spin, and you'll have your head to the front of the room, your feet to the back of the room. Have a strap within a reachable distance if you're using one, just so you don't have to get up and grab it. And you can set it off to the side, unravel it from its rubber band, and come to lay all the way onto the floor. And as you come to lay down, go ahead and set up in any way, shape, or form. So you might be more in that Shavasana shape with your arms and legs out long. You might, if you're feeling anything, hi, come on in. You guys, if you want to be close to each other, you might be able to scoot. Otherwise, there's a spot up here, up to you completely. But as you come to lay onto your back, if you're feeling anything in your low back or in your hips this evening, you might bend your knees. Knock your knees into each other, and let the weight of your legs support one another. But see if your arms can get heavy down by your sides. And if you haven't already, let your eyes either soften or fully close so you can listen for your breath. When you close your eyes, it's a moment in time to see yourself more clearly than before. To turn in towards that darkness that coats behind the eyelids, that milky, expansive, cooling darkness. And it's here in the dark, you might start to notice some flashes of light or gentle spots of color or any familiar patterns or shapes that you've noticed throughout your day. But as you become more familiar with the dark, can you listen for that thread of your own breath? The breath is that first gateway to the energetic body, to that subtle body. Your breath is a part of you that you don't necessarily see, but you can more than clearly feel. So as you let your next inhale come through your nose, let it fill your belly and up into your chest. And even open your mouth to let all of that breath out, to notice what part of you can soften. Bless you. Take a few more breaths just on your own, letting each breath move in and down so it fills you up. And a longer breath up and out. For these next few breaths, can you breathe not just into the front of your body, but let the back of your body expand, all of those parts of you that are touching the earth. You might breathe into your belly, into the back of your chest and the front of your heart. And as you exhale through your nose or mouth, let some part of you soften into the earth. We'll start our practice and our time together with 3 more rounds of that breath. So wait for your next inhale as it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. 2 more times just on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for even a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and really remember your own breath. And as you keep a thread of that connection inward, start to blink your eyes open and begin to bend both knees as you bring your feet flat onto the floor if they're not already. Slowly give your right leg a hug in towards your belly and begin to make almost these exaggerated circles in your right ankle, going very wide clockwise and then counterclockwise. See if you can spread your right toes and then point the toes and feel the arches and the corners of your feet. Take a deep breath in and even open your mouth to let that breath out. Now the next time your right ankle comes through center, locate your strap and bring your strap around the ball or the arch of your right foot. Flex your right foot as you begin to straighten your right heel up towards the ceiling, letting your elbows touch the floor on either side of your body. So let your triceps, your elbows, and your upper back connect to the ground. As you push your foot up into that strap, use your hands to gently create some resistance. Tug your hands down towards the earth. And then can you shrug your shoulders to the ears, wiggle the shoulder blades together, and gently press the back of your head down into your sticky mat as you breathe into those parts of you touching the floor. You might keep your left knee bent the whole time, or being mindful of any props. Perhaps you straighten your left leg long out in front of you, but bring both edges of the strap into just your right hand and bring your left hand to the top of your left hip. And now 1 inch at a time, mindful of the neighbors, start to move your right leg 1 inch at a time over to the right hand side. Only go as much as you need to keep your left butt cheek heavy on the ground, your left shoulder heavy on the floor. And as that right leg moves to the right, for Supta Padangustasana B, take a full breath in through your nose. Stay for the exhale, gently push your foot into the strap as you use your right hand to tug the strap back, creating resistance. Now on your next inhale, draw your right leg back up through center, bend your knees, slip the strap out. You can drape it across your belly and lower your right foot to the floor. Take a breath between sides and notice what it is that you see. And as you bend both knees, bring your feet flat onto the ground, give just your left leg a hug in towards your belly, your chest. Make those exaggerated circles in that left ankle. We'll be spending a lot of time balancing on one and both feet. So what does it feel like, if even for a moment, to be off of your feet and seeing the arches and corners of the foot itself? A big breath in. Stay for your exhale as you spread the left toes as wide as you can spread them. And now as that ankle comes through center, find your strap again. Bring it to the ball or the arch of your left foot. And instead of letting your hands pull up, bend your elbows and lower your elbows to the floor on either side of your body. Shrug your shoulders to your ears, wiggle the shoulder blades together, and as you keep reaching that left leg to the ceiling, push your foot into the strap and use your hands, create some resistance, gently tug your hands down to feel the sole of that left foot. A big breath in. Stay for your exhale. Try to release the gripping of your fingers around the strap. It'll still stay. Let the knuckles soften. And now both edges of the strap into just your left hand. Keep your right knee bent or straighten your right leg. And as your right hand comes to your right hip, start to open your left leg to the left. That's it. My leg hovers way high up off the floor. Yours might be closer, but the resistance, press your foot into the strap and use your left hand to tug the strap back as you take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. Keep your left heel, your left butt cheek, and your right heel, your right butt cheek, and your right shoulder connected to the ground. On your next inhalation, draw your left leg back all the way up through center. Slip the strap out, bend your knee, and give both of your legs a hug in towards your belly. You might stay still. You might make some small circles, moving your thighs in one direction to feel your middle and low back massage onto the ground. But a big breath in through your nose, and open your mouth to let that breath out. Now, after a few breaths, lower both feet to the ground, stretch your arms overhead, and being mindful of your props, roll over onto your right hand side and press yourself up through to tabletop facing the front of the room, coming into all fours. You might have your blocks framing out the top corners of your mat. Perhaps you use them as we start to move about. If you'd like a blanket under your knees for some extra padding, please feel free to find it. But do bring those hands as wide as your mat. Spread your fingers, let your knees be under your hips, and curl all 10 of your toes under to feel the arches of your feet. And now close or soften your eyes as you take a big breath in and a longer breath out to notice what shifts as your breath gets slower and steadier. Now begin to round and arch your spine, linking breath and movement together through a few rounds of cat and cow. Let's go for 6 cycles of breath for the 6th chakra. And I invite you to let your eyes soften or close so you begin to move from a place of less of what others are doing, of what you think you should look like, and more of what your body desires this evening. Maybe that means you stay in the rounded or arched shape for a few extra breaths. You might move more back and forth, your hips towards your heels or shoulders forward of the wrists. But take a full breath in anywhere you are and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. As you come back to table, find your neutral spine once again. And now keeping your hands and shoulders where they are for a calf stretch, reach your right leg back, curl the toes under, and reach back through your right heel to notice what you feel in the back of the leg. Now again, you might stay still. You might slowly rock your heel back and forth. But as the heel goes back, can you slide the bottom of your heart forward so the back and sides of your neck can grow longer? After a few breaths on this first side, take your time to switch, bend that knee, reach back through the left. And for the calf stretch, think heel to the back of the room as you slide the crown of your head forward, breathing in and out through the nose or mouth. After a few breaths on the second side, bring it back to tabletop. Walk your hands a handprint forward of your shoulders. Keep them as wide as your mat. With your knees behind your hips, curl your toes under and take it back to downward facing dog with all the breaths and all the time you need to find your way there. Here, you might crave stillness. You might pedal your heels from side to side. You might bend and straighten your knees simultaneously, but do let your breath get a little longer, a slower breath in, and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. Now at the bottom of your exhale, begin to lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and 1 foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your palms to come into your forward fold. You might bring your hands high up onto blocks out in front of your feet so the floor can rise to meet you where you are. Maybe you widen your feet an inch or two or soften your knees to give your low back a little extra room. But as you bow in towards yourself, even slowly nod your head yes and gently nod your head no to feel all the sides of your neck elongate to the earth. A big breath in and a longer breath out. And after a few breaths, bring your hands to your hips, stand through your legs, and a slow inhale brings you up to rise as your hands come down by your sides. With your feet right under your hips, on an inhale, reach your arms forward and up to the ceiling. As you exhale, soften your knees, hinge from your hips to fold. Wait for your inhale to come up halfway to lengthen, hands to your blocks or shins as you reach your chest forward. And on your exhale, fold, plant your palms and step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. With your knees lifted or lowered behind your hips, take a few extra breaths in your plank. Without moving your legs, can you energetically hug your legs towards each other? Without moving those hands, hug the palms towards each other. Feel the forearms engage. And now slide your ears back so your head is in line with your heart. A big breath in. And as you exhale, begin to bend your elbows to lower all the way down onto your belly. With your hands as wide as your mat, inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift your chest. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog, tabletop or puppy pose for 3 breaths on your own. The 6th chakra, Anya chakra, the color of indigo or violet that coats the eyelids, the place in which you begin to imagine your intuition, the source of your intuition resides, and the place where you begin to see what cannot be seen but can be felt. So with your eyes open or softly closed, take a big breath in and a longer breath out through every fiber of you. At the bottom of your exhale, begin to lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands into your standing forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, and on your exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Use your own fists and measure those feet about 2 fists width apart. And with your toes pointing straight ahead, for chair pose, bend your knees, sit your hips back, and slide your palms to your thighs for this first round. Let your butt get heavy to the back of your mat. And can you guide your knees open towards your 2nd and 3rd toes? Now press into your legs to lift your chest away from the ground. Stay here, or if you want to add some more heat in the upper body, reach your arms up overhead. But remember the breath, a deeper breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, let your eyes soften, maybe even close as you sit 1 inch lower towards the earth. Now on your inhale, come all the way up to rise, reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to lunge. And with your hands high up on your blocks or fingertips on either side of your right foot, wiggle your left toes back another inch or 2 to get longer in your stance. On your next inhale, stay in your lunge. Can you lift your heart, grow long through the spine? And as you exhale, straighten your front knee as you fold and bow in. Let's take that twice more with your breath. Inhale through to lunge. Lift your heart and wait for your exhale to straighten your front knee. You might soften or close your eyes for this last round. As you breathe in, come through to your lunge. Grow longer through the spine. And as you exhale, straighten that front knee as you pause for a few breaths here. Once both of those legs are straight, take a few breaths. Can you wrap your left hip to the front of the room? Tack your right hip to the back of your mat and notice if and where any sensation shifts in the back of your right leg. Now, as much as you can keep those hips square, take a full breath in. Stay right where you are, or you might bend your elbows to the sides as you bow in towards that straight right leg. One more long inhale through the nose. A deeper breath out. Try to unclench your fingers around the blocks or on the floor. And now on your next breath, back it up. Bend your knee, lift your chest, and all the hops you need to come back into your forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And on your exhale, fold in towards yourself. With those feet hip-width apart, step your right foot back all the way through to lunge. Squeegee the right toes back another inch. And following your breath more than my voice, as you inhale, stay in the lunge, lift your heart. Wait for the exhale to straighten your front knee. Twice more with your eyes softly opened or closed. Breathe in through to your lunge. Wait for the exhale to bow in towards that straight left leg. One more time. Follow your inhale, come through to lunge. And now the third time that left leg straightens, pause as you take a few breaths. Sometimes with the left leg forward, those hips want to spin open to the right. So can you wrap your right hip to the front of the room, tack the outer left hip back, and the dream is you feel this not near the left butt, not behind the left knee, but in the belly of your left hamstrings. Now keeping your hips square, maybe you bend your elbows to the sides as you bow in towards that straight left leg, but a deeper breath in through the nose. Stay for the exhale, unclench your fingers, and imagine like your third eye could reach towards your left toes. Ooh, good. On an inhale, back it up, bend your left knee, plant your palms onto your sticky mat, and take it back to downward facing dog. With those hands as wide as your mat, inhale through to plank pose. Wait for the exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to rise, Bhujangasana. Hug the shoulder blades together. And on your exhale, take it up and back to downward facing dog. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And from your down dog, inhale to lift the right leg up and back. Step your right foot through or around to find your lunge. Pivot your back heel all the way to the floor, and on your inhale, rise for warrior two, facing the long edge of your mat. Once you arrive, take a breath. See that the right knee and toes are pointing straight ahead. And now can you look away from the ground as you stretch out through the fingertips? A full breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, bend into your right knee as you grow taller through the crown of your head. Now the legs stay the same. As you breathe in, reach just your arms to the ceiling. Bend your right elbow, pat yourself on the back, and let your left fingertips grab onto the elbow. Think right elbow high to the ceiling. Gently press your head back to lift your chin, and slide the ribs back to steady the middle of your back. A bigger breath in. Stay for the exhale, bend into your right knee as you grow 1 inch taller through that right elbow. On your inhale, release your arms to a T, straighten your right leg, take a big breath in, and for triangle pose, tap your right fingertips to a block or the floor on the outside of that right leg for today. That's it. Once your right hand comes to a block or the ground, your left hand might stay on your hip, you might reach it up to the ceiling. But for my friends whose knees easily lock, take a tiny bend in your knees that you might not even see, but you can feel. And now without moving your legs, hug your feet towards each other. Press straight down into your right hand, reach up through the left fingertips, and now lean back against yourself. A bigger breath in. Stay for your exhale and begin to find a side stretch. Slowly sweep your left arm over your ear towards the front of the room. Keep pressing through the left pinky toes. Stretch through the left fingertips. And now press into your right hand to turn your chest and belly open to the ceiling, breathing. Nice. Inhale to unwind. Lower your hands to the ground. Bend your front knee and all the way back to downward facing dog. A couple more times together with your eyes opened or closed. Inhale through to plank pose. Exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Drink in that breath for Cobra, Bhujangasana. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. What is it that you see through the dark? On your next inhale, take your time. The other side as your left leg lifts. Step your left foot through to find your lunge. Pivot your back heel to the floor. And on an inhale, rise, Virabhadrasana 2 on the second side. Good. You might look with those eyes to see that the left knee and toes are pointing straight ahead. And now with that third eye, can you grow taller through the crown of your head, stretch out through the fingertips, and bend into your left knee. As you breathe in, the legs stay. Reach just your arms to the ceiling. Bend your left elbow, pat yourself on the back, and let your right fingertips grab onto your left elbow. Instead of pulling the elbow back to the middle of your head, create some resistance. Press your left elbow forward into the right hand, and then use your fingertips to lift the elbow up to the sky. Press your head back, slide the ribs back. As the ribs go back, press your head back. A big breath in. Stay for the exhale, bend into your front knee. And now release your arms to a T as you straighten your front leg. A big breath in, grow long in every direction. And as you exhale for Trikonasana, let your left hand tap your block or the floor on the outside of that front leg. Once that hand comes down to hold something solid, unlock the knees and hug your feet towards each other. As you hug the feet together, press straight down into your left hand, reach up through the right fingertips, and now lean back against yourself as you take a big breath in. Stay for the exhale and begin to sweep your right arm towards the front of the room. Imagine like you can start this from the right pinky toes. And as you press through the right pinky toes, stretch through the right hand, and now turn your belly and chest open to the ceiling, breathing. On your next inhale, slowly unwind, lower your hands to the ground, take it all the way back to downward facing dog. Ooh. From your down dog, inhale through to plank pose, and lower all the way down onto your belly. This time, make a pillow with your hands. Let your forehead or your third eye or a cheek rest onto your palms. Close or soften your eyes and listen for your breath. Your breath, that part of you that cannot be seen, but so very clearly can be felt. That gateway, that portal into the energetic and subtle body. So just like you did early on when you were lying on your back, can you slow down your next breath in to fill your belly and up into your chest? And exhale through your nose or mouth and let some part of you soften into the earth. If you're on one of your palms or on one side of your cheek, take another, so you might switch the sides as you take one big breath in. And even open your mouth to let that breath out. After a few breaths, bring your hands to either side of your chest. Press up through to tabletop. And pause in tables. We'll spend a few moments on the knees. So if you'd like a blanket for some extra padding, please feel free to find one. You might also have some blocks under your hands as we come in for the first of the thigh stretches. But in your table, whether your hands are on the floor or on blocks, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. And now here, walk your left knee back an inch or two so your knee is behind that hip. Now press into your hands to lift your chest away from the floor. And one block or one hand at a time, start to walk your hands to the left corner of your mat. Look over your left shoulder, say hi to your left foot, and now bend your left knee to lift your left toes up off the floor. Start to reach your left hand out and around to hug the left heel or the left foot. You can stay right here as you press into your block to lift your chest. Or you might slowly walk your right hand back to the inside of your right foot. You might play with some balance and climb your right palm up onto your right thigh. You might also reach your right arm up overhead for this version of Anjaneyasana, low lunge with a thigh stretch. But remember the breath. Take a full breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Can you lift your heart? Try to lift your gaze and bend 1 more inch into your front knee. Let it get heavier to the earth. Good. Slowly let your right hand come down first. Then the back foot releases. Take it back to tabletop. And a breath or two on all fours to take notice of any difference from side to side. After a few breaths on side 1, same thing. Other leg, bring your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Because we set up from table, it might mean that your right hip is right above the knee. If it is, scoot your right knee back, like walk it back so the thigh is more diagonal to the floor. And now walk your blocks one at a time over to the right. Look over your right shoulder, bend your right knee to lift your right toes up, and reach your right hand around for the top of the foot. Breathe here. As much as we like to think those sides are symmetrical, there might be differences. So you might keep your hand on your block as you lift your chest, or all of those variations apply as you walk your left hand back to the inside of the foot. Maybe you climb it up onto the thigh, maybe you reach it up overhead. But remember the breath, a full breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Can you lift your heart? Try to look away from the floor and keep that as you bend into your front knee. Slowly release your left hand. Then the back foot releases as you plant your palms and take it back to tabletop. Can clear your blocks. Walk your hands forward and meet in downward facing dog for a moment longer as you lift your hips to the sky. Now from your down dog, walk your feet to come as wide as your mat. A tiny bend in your knees, and one hand at a time, start to walk your palms back to meet your feet so you fold somewhere at the back-ish of your mat. Let your knees be soft here. Let your head be heavy. And with your feet wide, bow in towards yourself, taking a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. After a few breaths, with your hands to your hips, inhale to come all the way up to rise as your hands come down by your sides. Whew. Warm, AC is on. Even if I don't suggest, take breaks anytime, sip water, modify, but we've made it to balance on one foot. That's what the charades for balance was. So some options I want to give you. You can always bring a block, a stack of blocks out in front of you to give you something solid to hold on to. But just like we did when we were lying down on the floor, we'll practice balancing on one foot. So go ahead and come to stand anywhere on your mat with your feet hip width apart. Now with your hands on your hips, unlock your knees. Lean all of your weight into your left foot. Lift your right heel and either let your right toes tap the block out in front of you or interlace your hands underneath your right knee and thigh. Anywhere you are with your foot on the block or on the floor, press your thigh down into your hands and shrug your shoulders up and back to create resistance. There's so much to do here, breathing as you flex your right foot. Or you might start to straighten your right leg as if you could foot high-five me in front of you. A big breath in. Stay for the exhale. And now bend your right knee as you bring your left hand to your hip. Let your right hand hold the front of your right shin. And 1 inch at a time, start to open your right leg to the right. Push your right leg into your hand. Hug the shoulder blades together. And then maybe for some counterbalance, you reach your left arm off to the side, but a deep breath in through the nose and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. On your next inhale, draw your arm and your leg back through center, lower your feet, and take a breath to arrive. Nice. Shake it out, maybe left butt cheek on fire. We'll get the right butt cheek on fire too. Hands to your hips. Unlock your knees if they're locked. And now lean into your right foot, lift your left heel, and either tap your left toes onto your block or as you interlace your hands, try to take that awkward index finger on top, the one that feels more strange. Instead of pulling the knee towards your belly, press your thigh down into your palms. You might even feel your chest go slightly further forward. Keep that as you hug the shoulders up and back to lift your chest. Now stay here the whole time, or maybe you straighten your left leg out in front of you, but a big breath in. Stay for the exhale, for its version of the standing big toe hold. And now begin to bend your left knee. Bring your right hand to your hip. And as your left hand holds the shin, slowly, steadily, open the left knee to the left. Unlock your standing knee. Press your shin into your hand. And now bring the shoulder blades together. Stay right here, or maybe watching for your neighbors, the right arm reaches off to the side. But a big breath in. Stay for the exhale, press into your right foot and grow taller through the crown of your head. Now inhale to draw your arm and leg back through center, lower your feet to the ground, and take a breath. Clear the blocks out of the way. Come to stand somewhere on your mat, and a big inhale, a little rinse cycle. Reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Now walk your hands one palm at a time back to the top of your mat to bring it back to downward facing dog. You might mentally locate your strap, because we might use a strap on the second side as we start to string everything we've done together. So as you mentally locate the strap, inhale, the left leg lifts up and back. Step your left foot through to lunge. On your inhale, with your left foot forward, you might grab your strap with you as you thread it over the shoulder and come up to rise for high lunge as your arms reach to the ceiling. Heel toe your left foot an inch over to the left so your feet are less on that balance beam. But lift your back heel, knee, and thigh. Look away from the ground. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale, and now bend one more inch into your front knee. Now hands come to your hips. A tiny bend in your back knee. Get springy and take all the hops you need to scoop your right thigh to your chest. Now this time, grab your strap and bring your strap around the ball or the arch of your right foot like you did lying down on the floor. Press your foot into your strap. Hug your shoulder blades together. Try to keep those fingertips close towards that right foot. And now maybe the knee stays bent, or you start to straighten your right leg out in front of you for Padangustasana A. A big breath in. Stay for the exhale, hug the shoulder blades together. And now this time, bring both edges of the strap into just your right hand. Bring your left hand to your hip. And 1 inch at a time, start to open the right leg to the right. Push your foot into the strap. Use your hand to tug the strap back. And now maybe you reach your left arm off to the side, completely optional to turn your gaze towards those left fingertips, breathing. On your next breath in, draw your arm and leg back through center. Release the strap, thread your right foot back to lunge. A big breath in to reach up, touch the sky. And on your exhale, step it back to downward facing dog. Woo! I said balance, right? In the beginning of class. I gave it all away for free. Notice what you feel. See what you notice. And with your eyes opened or closed, what is it that you see through the dark? A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Last side, lift your right leg up and back. Step your right foot through to find your lunge. Maybe you bring your strap with you as you rise for high lunge and reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Good, that first side looked great. I know it didn't look like I was looking, but out the eyeball and that third eye was looking all the way here, so really good. But with your right foot forward, lift your back heel, knee, and thigh, stretch up through the arms, and bend into that front knee, breathing. Now with your hands on your hips, get springy in the back foot. All the hops you need to scoop your left thigh to your chest. And now either interlace your hands under the thigh or find your strap and bring it under the ball of your foot. Try to bow in and let your hand stay close to that foot itself. And as you push your foot down, hug your shoulder blades together. You might keep the knee bent the whole time, or maybe you start to straighten your left leg towards the front of the room. Push your foot into your strap, hug the shoulder blades together, and grow taller through the spine. And now both edges of the strap come into just your left hand. Bring your right hand to your hip. And being mindful of those around you, very slowly start to reach the left leg to the left. Push your foot into the strap. Use your hand to pull the strap back as you lift your heart up. And then maybe your right arm reaches to the side. Maybe your gaze turns towards those right fingertips as you take a bigger breath in. Stay for the exhale. And on an inhale, unwind. Draw your arm and leg through center. Get rid of the strap. Thread your left foot back to lunge. A big breath in. Reach up. Touch the sky. And on your exhale, fold. Plant your palms and take it back to downward facing dog. Whew. That lunge after the balances, if this chakra is all about imagination and clairvoyance, I finished that lunge and I'm like, give me the gold medal for the Olympics. I've just done the balance beam in Athens. It's time. So now in your down dog, pause. You can lower your knees to the floor at any point, or your breath might take you through one of those linking vinyasas we've done together already. But with your eyes opened or closed, can you offer it to your breath? Slow down your next breath in and lengthen the entirety of your exhale out through every direction of you. After your next few breaths, anywhere you find yourself, lower your knees onto the floor, come into tabletop, and come to sit onto your butt. So your butt on the ground and swing your legs out in front of you. Once your butt is on the floor, as your legs come out long, lean back. And now bend your knees as you bring your feet flat onto the floor. Did a lot of work using those glutes to find us a little stability. And now some hip openers as you lean back. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh for figure 4. Do your best to flex your right foot. And now press into your hands to lift your chest up towards the ceiling. Again, close or soften your eyes as you let your breath deepen. Some other variations, you can ignore everything that I say next and stay here the whole time. For something different, you might scooch your hips closer towards that left heel as you lift your chest up, breathing. You might stay right here. Or one more variation for Agni Stambhasana, you walk your left foot over to the right and lower your left knee and shin to the floor. If you get here, feels like the knees are lifted, it's not supportive in the hips, you say, you just come right back to that figure 4. The aim of the game is the hip opener. But if you are in Agni Stambhasana, flex through both feet, shins are stacked. Everyone lift your chest, get tall through the spine. Stay here, or completely optional to hinge from your hips, as if your chin could hook over that front right shin. But in figure 4, in fire log, or any variation that you're in, remember the breath, a full breath in and down. And even open your mouth to let it out as you soften the shoulders, close or soften your eyes, and listen for your own breath itself. If you folded forward on an inhale, slowly rise all the way back up. Lean back to uncross your legs and lower both feet onto the floor. And watching for any neighbors or props, drop your knees from side to side like windshield wipers on a car as a little counter pose. Now after you've gone evenly from one side to the other, come back through center. And let's go progressively. The same thing the second side. Lean back to cross your left ankle over. Flex your foot as you lift your chest. Allow for your eyes to close or soften and see if you can breathe here, just like you did when you were lying down. Stay exactly as you are, or those other variations apply too. You might move your hips closer towards that bottom heel as you lift your chest. You might, completely optional, walk your right foot over to the left to lower your knee and shin down onto the floor. But anywhere you are, flex through both feet. Think reaching through the big toe ball mounds of your feet. If you've come into Agni Sambhasana and you'd like to fold forward, you can hinge from your hips and imagine your chin hooking over that front knee. But 3 deep breaths on your own, with your eyes closed or open. What is it that you see through the dark? A slow breath in. And every exhale, try to unclench your fingers, soften your jaw, and feel your tongue release away from the upper palate. If you folded forward on your next inhale, slowly come all the way back upright. Everyone lean back to uncross your legs, lower your feet to the floor. And one more time, with your feet as wide as your mat, windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Before you come to lie on your back, a chest opener. So the next time the knees come back up, bring your feet hip width apart out in front of you. Bring your hands behind your hips with your thumbs facing forward. And now, bless you, keep your butt on the ground and move your butt all the way forward towards your heels. Now with your butt on the floor, push through your hands to lift your chest. This is the sensation we're looking for, broadness through the collarbones. Or if you'd like to add more weight onto the wrists, you push through your feet to lift your hips up for reverse table. You might look at your knees, or without cricking the neck back, slide the sides of your throat back to look straight up to the ceiling. But a big breath in. Stay for the exhale. Press through your feet to lift your hips if they're lifting. Press through your palms to lift your heart away from the earth. And now slowly lower your butt all the way to the ground. You'll do a little spin. Come to lie onto your back so that one more time your head is to the front, your feet are to the back. And as you get comfortable onto the floor, have your therapy balls close by. If anyone needs some, feel free to lay down, get comfortable, and I can bring you over some. But just set them off to the side where you can grab them in a second. And have one of your blocks close by as well, so you can reach it without having to get up or down. Now, once you come to lay onto the floor, go ahead and bend your knees, bring your feet flat onto the ground, and let your hands rest onto your belly or onto your chest. As you close or soften your eyes, take a big breath into your palms and open your mouth to let all of that breath out. Take another full breath into the front, the back, and the sides of your body. And a deeper breath out through every direction of you. Now this time, give your right leg a hug in towards your belly or chest. Watch for neighbors as you straighten your left leg long out in front of you. And for a twist on your back, let your left hand hold your right thigh and move your right leg up and over to the left. I like to bring a lot of blocks underneath my right thigh so the floor can really rise to meet me. So you might stack 1 or 2 blocks underneath the right thigh or the shin as that right leg gets heavy over to the left. Now your right hand might rest on your belly or on your ribs. If you have space, you might reach it off to the side like a big T. But let the back of your head press into the floor. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, maybe your gaze starts to travel to the right. So the right side of your cheek, the right side of your jaw, and the right corner of your eye can soften into the floor. You might stay here the whole time, or completely optional to bend your left knee, that's the leg that's straight, and move your left heel towards your left butt cheek. And then sweep your right hand down and around to either press into the floor or grab on to the pinky side edge of your left foot, the outer edge. Let that right thigh stay heavy on a block. And if you have a hold of the foot, push your foot back into your hand. And now everyone shrug your right shoulder up and back into the ground. A deep breath in and a longer breath out. And now with care, release the hold of your left foot if you're holding. Uncross your legs as you draw your knees and feet through center. And before we go to the second side, take a breath to notice what cannot be seen but might be felt. As for the second side, as you give your left leg a hug in towards your chest, straighten your right leg long out in front of you. Let your right hand hold the outside of your thigh and move your left leg up and over to the right, maybe bringing those blocks with you so the floor can rise to meet you where you are. Less about how low that left knee can go, but more about how both of your shoulder blades and your upper back can stay connected to the ground. So if that means lifting the left leg a little higher, you might come higher up onto a block. But take a deep breath in. Stay for the exhale, and maybe as your left hand rests on your belly or your chest or off to the side, you let your gaze turn to the left, letting the left side of your cheek, your left jaw, and the left corner of your eyes soften into the earth. If you did so on side one, you might bend your right knee, kick your right butt cheek with your heel, and sweep your left hand down and around to reach for the pinky side edge of your right foot. If you have a hold of the foot, push your foot back into your hand and let that resistance shrug your left shoulder up and back. Take a big breath in and a longer breath out. And now after a few breaths, slowly release the hold of your left leg. Uncross your legs as you draw your knees back through center and give both of your knees a hug in towards your belly or chest. It's here where you might be in stillness. You might make small circles, moving your knees in one and the other direction. Or you might come towards happy baby as you widen your knees. Your hands might catch the backs of your thighs, your calves, or the pinky edges of your feet. But see if the back of your head and your tail can get heavy to the floor as you take a big breath in and a longer breath out. And now with care, release the hold of your legs down to the earth. This evening, I'm going to talk you through some therapy ball work in the back of the head, but some options if you'd prefer to set up early for Shavasana. I invite you to do so. We'll meet you there very, very soon. But for those interested in the therapy balls in the back of the head, you can take them out of their tote and go ahead and hold a therapy ball in each hand. And now very slowly start to lift just your head up off the floor, and you'll find those therapy balls at the very base of your skull. We all have those two bony points at the bottom of your skull called your occipital lobes. If it doesn't feel too tender, those therapy balls can come right onto those 2 points or slightly higher or wider. I find if I don't hold them, they sometimes slip out of the way. So you might hold as you let your elbows drop down to the sides. Take a big breath in and open your mouth to let that breath out. And now slowly start to nod your head yes. And then gently nod your head no. And as you nod your head yes and no on your own, take time to explore what you feel at the very base of the skull. These 2 bony points are where muscles and nerves of the neck connect to the head, where the place of the third eye responds to. So after a few breaths at the base of your skull, come up a little higher, more to the middle of the skull, as if you were to wear a middle ponytail. The therapy balls would go right at the center of the skull. It's up to you. They can be really close together or slightly wider apart, but let your elbows get heavy as you take a big breath in and open your mouth to let that breath out. And now slowly nod your head yes. Begin to nod your head no. When you nod your head no to the right, you might make small circles when you get there, even opening and closing your mouth to see what the jaw feels like. When you nod your head no to the left, you might nod your head yes when you're there. The middle of your skull has so much information that you receive back from. And now after you've gone back and forth a few times, release those therapy balls off to the side and let the weight of your head drop down onto the ground. Take a breath into what you don't ordinarily see, but you can more than clearly feel. And now the next place to meet is in your pose of rest in Shavasana. I do suggest to take the therapy balls out for your duration of rest. For sometimes if they stay for Shavasana, they create more tension than softening. But as you set up for rest, take your time to add any layers to support you. You might add any props to support the knees, to rest on the belly. You might let your hair down or set your glasses safely off to the side for the time being. You're more than welcome to lay onto your back or curled onto your side or laying on your belly itself. But anywhere you find yourself, know that you can shift or adjust to find as much softness as needed. This evening, I'll talk you through a few rounds of pranayama, of some breath work that not only prepares the body for rest, but withdraws the senses to help you notice that interior world more fully. But for this Brahmari pranayama, this humming or buzzing breath, you'll start by taking a long breath in through the nose and even open your mouth to let all of that breath out to the bottom of your exhale. Now inhale to slowly fill your breath, and as you exhale, close the lips and begin a humming. When you finish one round, begin again. Three more rounds just on your own. When you finish your last round, there's no rush. You can release the humming of your breath and notice any sensation in the tip of your tongue, the tip of your lips, your nose, and any resonance in that space between the eyebrows. And it's here as you find that soft, slow cadence of each breath. Allow for your breath to let your entire body get heavier into the earth. And it's here where each cycle of breath slowly dissolves the entire practice that was. Each breath helps you arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after creates a little more space for what has yet to come. Can you allow for each round of your breath to let your body get heavier against the earth, so your awareness can slowly travel to that subtle body? As you lay here heavy against the ground, can you imagine a soft, glowing light above your head? From this soft, pale light, you begin to notice and draw each color into your awareness. From the crown of your head, begin to notice this lustrous, deep red that travels down the whole spine to the very base of your being. This molten red that coats the base of the spine, runs down the legs, out through the feet, and coating the whole lower half as you bathe in this red. As your awareness travels back up to the crown of your head, you imagine or notice this soft orange light. As this orange travels down your entire body, coming to the space below your belly button, around your hips, into the low back, washing its way over you. You return back to the crown of your head, to that soft light. And from it, you pull down a yellow, like the rays of the sun. It comes down the body into the belly, offering a warm golden glow. It moves from the ribs to the middle of your back, enveloping you in this warm yellow light. You return to the crown of your head, to this soft light. And from it, you pull down a lush, vibrant green. Greens of the forest, greens of the earth, that comes down the spine and envelops the heart. From the front to the back of your chest, all through the shoulders, enveloping you in this lush green light. You return to the crown of your head, and from it you pull down a vibrant cerulean blue. From the head it travels to the throat, coating the throat, the sides of the neck, and the back of the neck. And from all of those spaces, you come to the third eye, the space in between the eyebrows. It's here where a deep indigo blue or violet cools the eyelids and allowing for you to see through the dark. As you keep aware or release the awareness of all of those colors, can you see and notice your body and being to see what the light begins to reveal? For these next few moments, allow for that softness of your breath to let your entire being get heavier into its support. And the heavier you let yourself become, the more luminous and the more spacious you might just start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a sweeter breath out. Take another breath in and down so it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to slowly awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels supportive to you. You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head slowly from one side to the other, heavy against its support. Or being mindful of any props or those around you, perhaps you reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your chest. But when the time comes, you can bend both knees, reach one or both of your arms overhead, and slowly roll over to either side of your choice to curl into yourself. With the least amount of effort required, press down into the floor and come up to rise to a tall seat facing the front of the room. With your eyes softly closed or softly open, can you once again remember your own breath? Taking a longer breath in and down, and a deeper breath up and out through every direction of you. Anya Chakra, the color of indigo or violet, the element of light and the ability to perceive or to command. Asking yourself the question, what is it that you see through the dark? And what does the light reveal? As we finish our practice off with one more round of that breath, you can draw your hands to anywhere that feels like center for you. as you take a deep breath in to offer all of it out. You might bow your head to your heart, or even gently lift your hands towards your third eye in such a simple yet sincere gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to one another who practiced right alongside next to you. And I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you for choosing to be here. Thank you. Drink water, take good care of yourselves and each other. If there are any props or things you used from the studio or you want to give yours a swipe with because pollen is very real, there's some wipes that are here to give things a little tidy with. I didn't mean to turn the music off, but sometimes I don't know how to use Spotify. And a couple of announcements while you guys are putting things away. Feel free to tune me out, walk around. But so many events happening. This Saturday, I'm teaching. Three Queens often does not only free classes at Race Street Pier or Cherry Street Pier if it's raining, but over the past few years, I've been teaching the free classes at the Art Museum Sculpture Garden. They're so fun. Weather is lovely, the views are gorgeous. It's BYO everything, yeah? So it's BYO mat, BYO body, BYO water. There's no props. It is a concrete floor, but it is so lovely. And that's 9 to 10 on Saturdays. It's every Saturday in May, weather depending. And you get a free coupon to the art museum that I believe you can use for that day or like a couple days afterwards. So if you're looking to make a Fairmount day of it, Saturdays can be busy. And then next Monday, and 4 Mondays after that, I'm starting my Pose Breakdown to Breakthrough series. I've been teaching it for the past couple of years. And it is very conversational style, workshop style. You bring your requests. But it's a 90-minute class downstairs where each week we just kind of focus and talk about and practice poses that we don't have time for in 75 minutes. So the first week is inversions and back bends. Then it's hip openers and arm balances. Then binds and twists and standing poses. And then the last one is everything that we missed because we can't get to everything. And then we do a field trip to John's Water Ice afterwards. And I think that's like June. Last week when I announced it, someone was like, when's that last class? Can I just come to the Water Ice? I'm like, yeah, you can just come to the Water Ice. But you can pop into one, all of them, none, and all of that stuff is on the intranet. Sweet Yesenia keeps asking me to make an Instagram reel about it. And I'm like, I don't want to, but I will to give some information. And then the last thing, so many things, feel free to, do your thing. I can chat forever, is some of the people that are in teacher training are here this year, and we're finishing up May 15th, 16th, and 17th. And that whole weekend, it's open to the public donation classes. So it's the group of 2 or 3 of them have curated a 75-minute class that they'll be co-teaching together. All of the proceeds go to funding the scholarship for next year, but no donations are required. And all of those class times are written, they're all posted on the website, and it's gonna be so nice. So if you're free for one of them or all of them, there's 7 throughout the course of the weekend. That's what's going on. But I think that's it. Everyone else good? Any announcements? Okay, bye. Thanks for letting me chat.